Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Portland Design Works Essential Electric Bike Pump Tire Inflator. Portland Design Works has decided to enter the increasingly popular electric tire inflator market with their own Essentials Electric Pump. You can see it's a very compact design that has Portland Design Works twist with a little more user-friendly designs and some new features we haven't seen before. The packaging is really simple. You have the blue color scheme that PDW is known for, a little schematic of the pump on the front, and then additional specs printed on the back. I'll go ahead and open this up. We'll go over the full specs. Retail price is an affordable $85. You have a 120 PSI maximum, and it has a built-in LED flashlight, a color screen, USB Type-C charging, and one of the unique features is you actually have mode presets, so you can run this for road, gravel, city, or mountain bike, and each of them will have their own mode memory. So it makes it really easy to switch between bikes. As far as what comes with it, you can see nice cardboard packaging, a little user manual. You have a waterproof plastic bag with Portland Design Works printed on there. You have a fabric carrying bag with some of the additional accessories inside that. You can see we have a hose. You have the USB Type-C charging cable. You have a needle attachment for inflating balls or mattresses. And then you also have two adapters here. This is the Presta adapter for the hose. This is a Schrader adapter that attaches directly to the pump. And then if we take a look at the pump, you have the Presta adapter pre-attached, it's threaded on. And then the pump itself with this little protective film on it. Now let's take a look at the weight of the pump. So with nothing on the pump, comes in at 180 grams, so definitely a little bit heavier than the really compact ones on the market. The Presta adapter with the blue color coding is only 6 grams. And if you want to run the hose, it's an additional 13. Visually, the PDW Essentials Electric Pump has a rectangular profile with a plastic exterior. To match the PDW blue branding, you can see the buttons have a blue color, USB-C charging port's blue, and then even the nozzle attachment has a blue ring around it. Admittedly, this is probably a fairly large pump. You can see it's quite wide and tall compared to the more compact ones. Still fits in your hand, but definitely more bulky. Dimensions are 86 by 38 by 52 millimeters, or 3.4 by 1.5 by 2 inches. Designed with a screw-on nozzle attachment, so you can put on the different adapters. Color-coded, the blue one here is the Presta one, the black one would be the Schrader one, and you have the extension hose that threads on. And then you can see these are standard press-on style, so just rubber inserts in there for an airtight seal. You can see the basic design has the screen on the side, the nozzle attachment on the back side, and then you just hold it and you can view the screen pretty easily. Portland Design Works written on one side, these glossy beveled edges, and ventilation cut into the body to help it keep cool on both sides. You even have a little flashlight underneath the nozzle, which helps with low light pumping. As far as the nozzles, again, really simple, so thread on, adds a little bit of length to it, and unlike the Trek one, which has a little storage port, this one is all separate, so you'd have to store these in the bag. You can directly attach this to your valve, or you can use the extension, which is something you want to do if you have TPU, or tighter spoke area where it's a little bit harder to reach. You can see it's pretty long, so it's about 4.5 inches with this extension hose, and malleable so you can get this around. And then again, this is Schrader directly as is, or a little adapter to make it Presta. The user interface on this is pretty simple. If you hold the button, you can see a really cool animation or graphic of the PDW on there. That's something you typically only see with these higher end or bigger companies. With the more generic ones, you just go directly to the power and you'll just see the PSI. It's color coded, so you can see battery status top left, units, and then the mode. Mode is pretty cool, so if I click U, you can see it has road, gravel, mountain bike. So it's a feature that gives you presets for each separate mode. And you can use that to switch between bikes, which is a convenient feature. Current pressure is printed here in white, target pressure in green. So you can see I can go up and down. The user interface is a little bit overloaded, so you have 4 buttons. Double tapping the U button will turn on the flashlight, and you can see, gives you a nice inflation if you're doing this in the dark. The little icon on the screen also turns on when the LED is on. And then you can also hold the button to switch between units, and you can see bar, kPa, kilogram per centimeter squared, or PSI. You can hold the up-down arrows to quickly change them, or double tap them, which is nice so they're not overloaded like some other pumps. You can hear the sound as well. Quite loud, and you actually see a progress bar. And you'll notice it actually twists in my hand. So quite a strong motor. It doesn't really ramp up, it just turns on very quickly. And you can see the progress bar if I simulate filling. So you see that fills up in green, which is a cool feature, but definitely on the louder side and quite a bit of torque, unlike some other pumps we reviewed. Here you can see the pump in action, really easy to use, nice color screen, and it's very intuitive with the different color coding. It's easy to set the pressure, and then you have the mode so you can switch between bikes. Here we have a 700 by 28 tire with a tire pressure of 65 PSI, and we found the pump worked really well. The vibrations are minimal, the heat is pretty nicely dissipated. So until you get to 5 or 6 pumps, it's pretty nice and easy to touch. Then it gets fairly hot, but it takes quite a few inflations, and the battery life on this is really impressive. So we did 6 inflations, and we only lost 1 bar out of the 3. So we expect this to go up maybe to 10 inflations, which is a lot more than the standard pump. So we don't know the exact milliamps of the battery, but it's definitely larger than the other brands, which is why it's a little bit larger than the overall dimensions are larger. Comparing the time, this is also really fast. So 40 seconds, again, to go to 65 PSI, which blows out all the other competition. Trek is slower, Topeak slower. Even CYCPLUS is about 50, so pretty impressive. Now let's do a comparison between the Portland Design Works and other pumps on the market. As you can see, we've done a ton of reviews. This is a very large market. Every brand seems to have their own. And you can see right off the bat, compared to CYCPLUS, which was one of the more original pumps, you can see how small this is in comparison. The battery size is probably pretty similar. They don't actually publish the exact milliamps on the Portland Design Works, but you can see overall, the Portland Design Works is just larger in every dimension. So this one will really fit in a pocket, while this one will take up a little bit more space and it's quite a bit thicker. You have the thread-on adapter, just like the CYCPLUS, but everything's just smaller and more compact. The big difference with the Portland Design Works is just the level of polish. With the CYCPLUS, you have these really tiny buttons, very simple screen, and you just set the pressure. No separate displays, no mode selection, no flashlight. So if you're a weight weenie, I would definitely recommend something like CYCPLUS. This is similar to a Trek, but again, it's just a little bit bigger in all the dimensions. Trek is also a little bit more established, so you can see Trek brand on there. Pretty similar screen-wise. You have the target pressure, current pressure, and color. But Portland Design Works is the only pump I've seen with the mode selection. So this one's always one mode. Sound-wise, they're all pretty similar, but you can see this one has a lot more torque. So this one has a little bit of a kickback to it, which is unusual. But again, just a little bit bigger in all the dimensions. Magicshine has their own with a exposed pump, which is kind of cool. So you can see the motor with a little translucent window. But again, the screen simpler, the button smaller. But you do see the rotating motor, and it has a little bit different sound. COOSPO has their own with an exposed motor, and again, just smaller and simple screen. Topeak also has a little animation, but you can see the buttons aren't quite as nice, and you can see the display here. This one has the smart head. They have a newer version of this as well that has a color screen, but this one has the attachment, and it's still almost the same size as the Portland Design Works. And then finally, Fanttik has a larger pump as well. This is an X11 much larger battery, so 2,500 milliamp. So you can see it's a little bit taller with the big hose attachment, but it'll give you a lot more runtime. It's heavier because of that. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the PDW pump. What I like about it is an affordable price, so it's very competitive. And you have the mode selector, so you can easily switch between a road bike, mountain bike, city bike, all with a push of a button instead of changing the pressure up and down, which is useful if you have a lot of bikes. It also has a color screen, which is pretty intuitive. and easy to use. The negative is the fact that it's fairly large. It's a bigger pump than other pumps on the market, so less portable, and it has quite a bit of torque, so it rotates in your hand when you first turn it on, which is something we haven't seen with other pumps. Taking everything into account would give the pump a 9.0 out of 10. It's a large but well-designed pump, gives you long battery life, and more features than other pumps we previously reviewed. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.